Y'all want to buy some stuff? I want to buy some stuff. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, what's up? This is Pookie's Revenge. We're back with another Rags to Riches $500 5-year series episode. It's a big string of words that I always mess up, so I say that in the beginning. That way, if I mess it up, I could stop the recording. I want to walk through how I'm picking my March contribution and shares that I'm going to buy this month. So let's go ahead and get my face out of the way. So I'll get this out of the way too, so it's not covering anything. So first, just to quickly recap the portfolio here, all the investment stuff is up. Minus Tesla and Clip, of course, which are high risk, high yield ETFs, and I kind of expect those share drawdown to be a thing. I picked up some more Neo contracts yesterday, and I'm just waiting for that to go. Ladder, of course, is just kind of chilling. It's it's 5% down, but it's okay. It's a long-term growth position. The OCG and covered calls, I got 2 of them. So basically all I did there is, sorry if I'm going too fast, by the way, I just recorded this and I have to redo it because my screen share wasn't working. So I bought 200 shares of OCGN, and then I sold 2 calls against them with different expiration dates. So the first one here, the shorter one, that's going to expire March 15th, so in about 10 days, that's about 50% profitable for me. I sold it at $15 to some other fool, and then he now has a contract that's worth $8 sitting in his portfolio. So I'm on the other side of that transaction now. I'm not just buying and waiting for things to die. Second contract is good for another month. That's April 19th, and that's good. It's about 30% profitable for me right now. So I sold it at $25, and somebody has it in their portfolio sitting at a value of $18. Okay. So that's the quick and dirty recap. Let's go ahead and walk through how I'm picking what and why. So hopefully you guys can see this. And this is just the result of the last episode that I recorded. So basically what I did is I decided on the last episode that I'm not going to buy Johnson & Johnson, right? It doesn't make any sense. The ex-div date was earlier this month or within the last week or so. And I'd have to wait 3 more months before I get a dividend from another share. So it's cool, but it would ultimately result in me averaging up a little bit, increasing my risk exposure, and not getting that dividend for another couple of months. So I'm just going to hold off on that one, which leaves me with JEPQ, Schwab, Clip, Tesla, Main, Ladder, and O. Okay. So in this left number here is the number of shares that I could buy if, well, let me rewind here a little bit. I'm kind of skipping ahead. So because I'm not buying Johnson & Johnson, I'm not committing a good chunk of that the allocation that I'm investing from the contribution to a big position. Okay, so that means I have a little more dynamic ability here. So what I've decided to do, again, since I'm not buying Johnson & Johnson, I have to balance these high-risk, high-yield ETFs against something else, right? Because our diversification by yield principle kicks in. And if I'm not buying something big and stable, I got to buy something different that will offset the risk and the high-yield nature of these 2 ETFs right here, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm offsetting those against JEPQ and Schwab. So I've decided to use $200 for JEPQ and Schwab, and $100 for the high-risk, high-yield ETFs, and then that leaves me $50 to do one of the growth positions or one of the more stable dividend stocks like O, for example. Okay, so that is 50 plus 100 plus 200 is 350. Okay, and this number right here in this column is just the market price of the shares. So $15 for Clip, $18 for Tesla, $44 for Main, $12 for Ladder. This number right here is the number that $350 would be able to purchase at that price. Okay, so I just need to come up with some configuration of the number of shares that will add up to 350 across these tickers. Okay, and again, I gotta prioritize diversification by yield and the aggressive nature or conservative nature of the positions I'm buying. Okay, so with that said, with $200, I've decided that I will be able to get 1 share of Schwab at $72 and 3 shares of JEPQ, which is the JP Morgan ETF, for $144. Okay, 72 plus 144 is $16. So I'm going over this $200 allocation by about $16, and I'll get to that in a second. Since I decided to risk half as much or commit half as much in the high risk, high yield ETFs to offset that risky nature, I've decided I can buy 3 shares of Clip and 3 shares of Tesla, and then that will give me roughly the same amount. It's let me just punch those numbers up real quick. I had this all, I went on an absolute tear on the other episode. So, So 15 times 3 is 45, obviously. 18 times 3 is 54. Okay. I don't know why I did that. 18 times 3 is $54. Plus 45 is $99. So out of $100, I've got 99 allocated when I buy these shares to Clip and Tesla. Okay, so we're right within range. Now this leaves us about a $15 overage in this case. Okay, and then I've got main, ladder, and O to differentiate between, and I have $50 to spend on them. So what I've decided to do is just pick up 3 shares of ladder. Okay. 3 times 36, sorry, 3 times 12 is 36, which means I will then have the following right here. So 1 share of Schwab at 72, plus 3 shares of JP Morgan is 144, which brings us to 216, plus 45 for Clip, plus 54 for Tesla, plus 36 for ladder puts us at 351, and that $1 is just going to have to come out of the speculation side, and I can live with that. It's okay. So in this case, the allocation of $500 is being broken up into $351 and $149 on the speculation side. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. I'll try to buy these as soon as I can. I might have to wait till market open to get some good fills, but the idea is that I've picked out the number of shares that I want to buy for the month. I apologize for the beeping in the background, by the way. I did not time this appropriately. I'm just trying to fit this into my schedule. One other thing I'm going to do really quick is I'm just going to kick over to this other account, this 50K portfolio. Now, this is not part of the, forgot my password there. So this is not part of the Rags to Riches project specifically about bringing a $500 portfolio up to. Instead, this is a look into the future because this portfolio has 50K on it. I started 2 days ago. Sorry again for the beeping. And we're up about $2,300 today. Overall, we're up about $1,500, and I didn't buy or sell anything today. All I did is let the price go sideways. All right, you can see for NEO, for example, I sold the covered calls here, and I sold it over here yesterday. I started this yesterday. So I picked up the shares somewhere, sold the covered calls, price went down, price went up, price went down, price went up. They had a big news catalyst, and so did Tesla as well. But the price just went sideways. And that's what I rely on when I sell these covered calls. I want that IV crush to just deflate everybody. So while everybody else in the market was destroying each other between this little range right here, okay, and then these guys here thought they got an opportunity, right? So they thought they were going to sell it all the way down, and other people thought they were going to buy it all the way back up and all that good stuff. I had to stay out of all that. I didn't care about it. I didn't even look at this portfolio much. And I still made a profit just from the price going sideways. So the share price is only up about 2.5%, which isn't a whole lot, but you can see it's got about $1,000 profit on it. And the rest of that came from the value of these covered calls just decaying and getting destroyed by people fighting and just diminishing them. And of course, the decay of time as well. So I sold these at $55, and now they're worth $47, and the price didn't move from where I originally bought them more than 2.5%. So it's a pretty easy strategy, and it keeps me out of the mix, and I can focus on doing my development stuff. I do a lot of programming and stuff like that, and I can also help you guys learn how to trade. So today I had a very good call with Stickman, for example. He's one of the Rags to Riches members. So this isn't part of the project so much as a preview of what you guys can look forward to. So if you're worried about, I can't do covered calls yet, I don't have a big account, it's okay. You guys can see I'm doing them on my little $3,000 account. And before that, it was a $500 account. I just made contributions and, just let the dividends kind of grow. And granted, my contributions are a little bit big, right? Because they're $500 a month, and not everyone can swing that, and I get it. But that doesn't mean that, that doesn't mean that the concepts still don't apply, and that it'll just take you a little bit longer is all, right? So if you have a $200 account and you're making $10 per week or $10 per month contribution, you can still get there as long as you have a system in place and you can follow it. It just might take you a little bit longer, okay? And, the smaller account, the $3,000 account, can't outperform this $50,000 account. And I just wanted to show you guys both of those just to prove that, it doesn't matter where you are, it's what's in front of you. So, the $3,000 account, I can't do the wheel on that because I don't have enough cash collateral. But on this account, I can, and I will. But on the $3,000 account, I can only do covered calls and spreads. So recognizing where I'm at in the hierarchy and just doing what I can do and being responsible and safe is always going to be much, much better than trying to jump ahead just for the sake of, satisfying that FOMO. All right. So with that said, we have Jay Powell talking. Jerome Powell, is the chairman of the FOMC. So it's a big catalyst. He's going to be testifying to Congress tomorrow and Thursday as well at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I expect there to be some volatility in the market. We'll see what he says. And of course, I'm just going to keep another close eye on the EV market overnight, the Chinese EV market, just to see if NIO wants to blast. Now, remember, if this blasts, the strikes on these contracts are 550, and the other account at $6. You could see the price was above 550 quite a bit today, but it wasn't profitable for the buyer of my contracts to exercise those contracts. So I didn't get assigned, which means I keep those shares until I do. And that won't happen probably until the price gets over 605, because that's got to be the strike price plus what the person paid for it. So as time goes by, it'll be better and better for me. And if price does go up there, that's okay, because I still get that 550 per share on this portfolio and $6 on the other one. So it's kind of a win-win, right? Price goes up, I make a profit on the shares, I sell them. Price goes sideways or down or just doesn't go up fast enough, I make profit on the contracts. Okay, so right now we're kind of in that sweet spot where everything is profitable. And that's just because the price hasn't gone down and it's gone up just enough, but it hasn't outperformed the theta enough for that buyer to be profitable. So you can see we're kind of being efficient here, and that's what I'd like to stay in that territory. So we'll see what we get. I'm going to cut this off because that beeping is going to kill my patience. So I'll catch you guys next episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully this stuff made sense. Like, this is how I get to those numbers. So I knew I had 350 to work with. I knew how much they all costed and how much I could get. I divvied up the allocations within that investment allocation based on the risk and balancing my buys against other buys, and kind of filling in the rest of that last $50, grabbing 3 shares of ladder, and that just adding up to 351. So I missed the mark by $1 today. So pretty good, but otherwise I'll see you guys next time. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe these. I hate asking for that, but the more we engage with these videos, the more comments and stuff, the more people it'll reach. So if you guys are interested in helping other people learn how to do this stuff, that's your best way to do it. Unfortunately, the YouTube algo kind of sucks. So again, I hate asking. I know people are really gimmicky about it, but it does help other people learn how to trade so that they can do this for themselves as well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.